So now I want to get into negging and how it really affected me. And I guess it's a story time. Very short story though. Pretty much, negging is when somebody manipulates you. And I would say it's like the baby sister of gaslighting. It's the baby sister because negging is a more softer, subtle approach. It still has the same effects as gaslighting, but and more so coming off as flattery, to confuse you and to undermine you and to, make you feel some type of way about your own confidence. And so I was dating a guy one time and we were out to dinner. And mind you, this guy, he had an eye patch. And so he had a type of defect or something where he had to get his eye removed. So he had an eye patch on. And I was okay with that because he still had a decent personality. However, I could pick up his insecurities. I could feel it a lot. And he made a lot of sarcastic, just condescending comments anyway. And, I chalked it up to a lot of other things that might be going on. He had brought up his past, his mom, his ex, things like that. All is well. During dinner, he made a comment and he said, "Oh man, you have a mustache." He said, "You have a mustache." And before I can even respond, he was already forgiving me. He said, "Oh, it's okay though. I think it's sexy." He's like, "Oh, I think it's sexy. I like women with mustaches." And then he said, you don't have to feel bad about it. He said, I really like that. I think that's real sexy and everything. So you don't got to feel bad. And I'm like, immediately, of course, I don't have a mustache. Like, what are you talking about? And it's not even that I had one or I even had a little hair here. Like, I actually get my face waxed. Like, I know I don't have hair there. And so I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, "Oh, you don't have to get defensive." He said, "I can understand if you're not confident with that, if that makes you feel bad. If you have low self-esteem about having hair on your mouth." He was like, "I get it. However, I think it's sexy. I don't think you should feel bad about it." And I'm sitting here like, for one, so he was gaslighting and negging at the same time. I know I don't have facial hair because that is a part of my routine to get it removed. And on top of that, he was gaslighting me as if to say I wasn't confident. And so my response to it was just saying, "Oh, you have low self-esteem." And the whole time I overlooked the fact that you're missing a whole fucking eye and you have an eye patch on. And that was nothing I was even going to bring up. We had already discussed it. He brought it up on his own. All was well. And I think that was something that he was still trying to come to terms with. And maybe he couldn't believe we were on this date and that I was even interested in him. And so it's like he had to get me to his level about how he felt about himself to make me